Whoa, yo, what's up? It's your boys for the DBAB podcast. It's your boy Jack and your boy Cletus. The boys are out doing rambunctious things tonight. One's having a good time at the Dallas Stars game, and the other two, no telling. It's just me and, I've been MIA for a while, so I can't dog them too much. But it's good to be back with my boy Cletus. He's the one that never lets you down anyway. Um, Hope everybody's doing well out there. You can find the DBAB podcast wherever you listen to podcasts on X, YouTube, uh, Google Music,
Spotify.
Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you find podcast. Look for us. DBAB, baby. That's what it's about. Don't forget to always be the light. Well, let's start. Let's just start, shoot off the hip and see how things go. Some big news, big coaching carousel moves in the ranks of high school, college, and NFL. Black Monday was Monday. So some of the like the big mind blowing ones, the eye popping ones that were me was like, as of today, I know everybody is huge on this one. The one
Nah,
roll tide, baby, Bama.
nah.
Nick Saban is going to hang up his whistle in Alabama. That, and the big thing is who's going to live up to the shadows of that man, and the
This,
list keeps going on and on. That's what's crazy. So
this is going to
I've already said
be.
it. I've said it a long time ago, but when it happens, I'm not a guy that says you told you so, but I'm going to tell you so anyway. But that one's a big job. It's bigger than some of the NFL jobs at the moment.
Oh yeah, it is a linchpin job. Like that job is going to affect 5 or 6 other jobs in the country.
Oh yeah,
And just that is the. Here's the thing though. You know, before Saban, Bama had that little lull in the late '90s to mid 2000s.
yeah,
Bama's winning 8, 9 games, 7 games a year.
yeah,
Not great. Saban gets there, turns into what they are. The key is going to be this hire is going to be probably the. I would say it's always harder to replace the dude. You want to be a guy that replaces the guy that replaces the guy. You want to be
yeah.
the third one in that because the next guy is always going to be compared to Saban.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no question. The dude, the,
And
the dude has what, 7 rings?
six or 7 rings, six at Bama,
Yeah, man. I
one
mean
at LSU.
that's crazy, man. You're like gonna be like, it's a good job, hard job, but you're always gonna be compared to the great Nick Saban. And
Well,
there's a whole list of names that they're putting out there. And
the
go
I'll
ahead.
say the best thing Saban did was tell the boosters to shut the hell up and let him. Honestly, it's shut the hell up and let me do my job.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, he was able to kind of corral some of those boosters to basically say, "Hey, y'all hired me. Let me do my job. Y'all shut up and quit putting your fingers where they don't belong."
and put your hands in your pockets and give me some money
Yeah,
to build what I got.
yeah. You want to
You know,
win? Let me do what I do.
yeah, and that's a perfect example. I mean, he won, hands down. There, everybody was like trying to carbon copy Bama. Dan Lennon in
Yeah.
Oregon, copy Bama. Kirby Smart, copy Bama. You could say what you want, but Georgia is basically
Oh yeah.
becoming Bama. And that's
Yeah.
because and the next guy in line is going to be really. It has some big shoes to fill, and he probably fill them. He might be the next go we talk about. Another. Will change.
Or may wreck the Ferrari. Think about that. Like, I mean, honestly, like
Yeah,
you have the keys to a freaking Ferrari right now,
yeah.
and two things are gonna happen. You're gonna keep it going, or you're gonna drive it off a cliff. And I hope they drive it off a cliff.
That's the fan in you talking, man.
Yes, yes. I hope Alabama's already lost at least one recruiter I know
Yeah,
to this news, and so that rule of the NCAA is your coach leaves, you can transfer.
yeah,
Well, that 30-day window hit today, so I'm kind of curious to see how many Bama players say, "See
yeah,
ya."
yeah,
That A doesn't mean that much.
yeah. It, This does. Where's
Hmm.
the NIL or next transfer portal going? The transfer portal created a whole monster that we can't really talk about because we don't know the whole
Right.
craziness of it.
The
You know,
ins
we
and
don't.
outs of it, but
I know it's taken a lot away from the high school. Uh, Another, I know I need to know, man. I've been just getting your text messages about this guy, but the Titans, they parted ways with your hero, man, your guy you loved in Tennessee, and
hmm,
the contract just gave up a guy that kept them relevant for so long,
yeah.
and we're talking about Vrabel, the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. They relieved him of his duties, which he's going to get a job easy, fast.
Oh,
He's probably as soon as the season's
he's
over, he's got a job. I promise you.
he's not going to be unemployed for very long.
Oh no,
Here's
no.
what I hope. Here's what I hope. I hope he gets hired in the AFC, and I hope the Titans play them, and I hope he beats the fuck out of them.
Patriots. That's
I,
my guess.
yeah, but Bill hadn't left yet. Yet. Chargers.
See,
They
I'm
got a good quarter. They got a good
yeah.
quarterback,
This
and
is
he's
this
always
is
missed. He's always
yeah,
missed a quarterback.
yeah, and this is we've been talking about. I've been throwing around some ideas of college coaches or people leaving to go to the NFL, and I think San Diego, or not San Diego now, but Los Angeles, the Chargers.
Hmm.
That guy had a Porsche. No, he
Yeah,
had a Porsche, and I I don't say I'm a better guy because I'm not. I've never sat in that chair, and I'm hope to maybe one day, but we'll never know. But the guy had a Porsche, and he made it look like a beat up Volkswagen because you have a good quarterback, one of the best running
great
back,
weapons. Great
Keenan
weapons.
Allen, Williams, a defense that's solid. Uh,
The,
overall. We talked in the beginning in August that the Chargers were going to be a very good team, and we're sitting here wild card wild card weekend. They're sending it home, you know, and that's kind of hard to think. And like the blueprint, like a blueprint DNA blood of the Chargers isn't Vrabel's style. You think like Vrabel's
right,
like tough, hard nosed, gritty, fight, claw, and a
but
team that I thought would be perfect for Vrabel, which I also think is for Harbaugh too, because I think he's leaving Michigan, but is the Raiders
yeah. My thing with Vrabel is I think
and the
he's so
Pats.
good at he's so good at establishing a culture.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
he'll get the guys tough
Yeah.
because the Titans were not tough
Oh yeah.
before Vrabel got there, and Vrabel made them freaking tough.
Yeah. No.
And so, it's like I told y'all, my fandom is um I am I'm a free agent. I'm going to dip my toe in the water to 31 other teams and see what we're going to weigh my options and I'm going to have a hat. I'm going to have a hat ceremony of who I'm going to pick. But I'm done. I'm done with the Titans. I am so uh, Amy Amy Adams. And again, it's the same thing like with you and the Cowboys fans. You can get mad at Jerry Jones all you want, but bottom line is it's his team, it's
Yeah.
his money.
We're still
He can
buying
do
his
whatever
stuff.
he can do whatever the hell he wants to, and it's her team, and she can do whatever the hell she wants to with it.
Yeah.
Do we agree as fans? No. If you see on
No.
Twitter Titan fans, I have not seen. I've seen one or two Titan fans saying, "Well, maybe it was time for a change." You're 1-8.
You weren't saying that 2 years ago.
You're 1-8. You're 1-8. The last 2 years, well, fucked hard. You got rid of your second best weapon in Antonio Brown
For a piece of candy, bro.
for nothing. So you fire the GM, then you don't have a quarterback. You overpay for Ryan Tannehill. Then you have to start a rookie for half the year. You have very little weapons on the outside, a very young and raw offensive line. Derrick Henry, who is getting hit 2 yards in the backfield every time he freaking runs the ball, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry is good, but when you get hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, I don't care
Yes.
how good you are, you're going to get stuffed eventually.
Yeah. Well, it's
You
hard.
know,
It's hard to get his
but,
momentum
but,
going.
but think about this too. Here's the crazy part: Derrick Henry still second leading rusher in the NFL
I didn't know that. That's
behind
interesting.
McCaffrey. Is
I
McCaffrey was
didn't
like
know that.
14 something, and Henry was like 1168, and the guy from the Chargers.
Eckler.
No, Williams, Kyron Williams,
That's
or is that the Rams?
that's the Lions, isn't it?
No, not someone else was like 1162.
Hmm.
I
That's
mean,
interesting. I didn't know that
again,
stat.
Derrick Henry was the second leading rusher in the NFL this season,
I
behind
didn't
a
know that.
pretty shitty offensive line or a pretty young.
That's interesting. I didn't
You
know
can
that.
check me on that. I think I saw that the other day because I was like, "What?
Uh,
Really?"
well, I'm not a big fact checker at the moment.
I gotcha.
So you could
But
be right, but I'll check it later, and then I will fact
yeah,
check you.
that sounds good. But I mean, so again, it's her team, but I'm a firm believer. She just like her damn daddy, do some pretty impulsive decisions.
Yeah.
Um, and I told someone the other day, the Titans would not win a Super Bowl as long as that family still owns the Titans.
Wow. We've been saying the same thing about Jerry Jones.
I don't know,
Um,
but at least y'all have won. Y'all have won some.
yeah. Not in the
And
last 30 years though, but
I
yes.
know, but more recent, the Titans have never won it. They've been one time, and they were a yard short.
Story of your
And
life, big
so it's freaking right. But it's
Sorry,
just
Josh isn't on here.
you're good. Freaking God dang, I was mad. I was so mad. I mean, y'all saw my.
No,
I'm a
yeah.
free agent. I'm a free agent, so
So he's
I'm gonna
about
weigh
to
my
have
options.
you.
I'm gonna
You
weigh-
know, you're about to be a Detroit Lions fan. I already know.
I could see. I kind of. I'm like, okay. I like Dan Campbell. You
You're
know,
about to get you a line all over your chest. You know.
rawr.
Yeah, that's you're about to get to that point. We know.
So
Um, what about the one that shocked me when it was like kind of was kind of cool and interesting was uh Pete Carroll. Um,
yeah, him
not
him him hanging it up.
yeah him hanging it up, but you also know he's been doing this for half of our
Yeah,
lives, or our full life. But I don't think he's getting out of football. I think he's going to do kind of what the NBA would did with Brad Stevens with Boston. They just moved him up to the office, like front office, and they did it with Spolstra. You know, they just moved people up, and I think it's a good thing because um, it can
get a
help
guy
that.
that understands.
Yeah, and he understand he was there, you know, and he's
Hmm.
gonna. But I think that one was. I think it was like interesting because I knew that kind of when I saw that I was like, yeah, I bet he just goes to their office, front office, and then he helps the next guy become the guy where it keeps going because this is like an interesting, like I've been saying, an interesting topic, but this one's like can get me fired up pretty quick. All right, it's the coach of the year, NFL coach of the year, right? Because I I don't per se think that 1 year guy, like a guy that had one hell of a year, comes back and then he wins the coach of the year, and then the next year his
Falls
team's not
off.
very good. Yeah, like for
Yeah,
example, Dabble, or what's his name, Brian Dable from the Giants. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
probably a great coach. You know, don't get me wrong, his pieces didn't fall in line. But last year he won Coach of the Year, right? This year, no playoffs, no. It didn't seem like they were better, but shout out they beat some teams they shouldn't have. But and then the Coach of the Year award, he won the Coach of the Year award for that. Well, think about this for example. I'm taking my fan hat off, but like for 3 years, this is great for any franchise in America in NFL. For 3 years, 3 12-win seasons, 3 playoffs, 3 second team, NFC East, NFC West, or NFC East champs twice out of the 3 years. And he's not considered in this running. Even think of Kyle Shanahan. He's on the list now. He's been on the list every year. But how many head coaches has Kyle Shanahan created in his organization? It's not just him, it's GM and everything else. But he's the head coach, and all of his assistant coaches have left him and become head coaches. And they've built, one of them is going to win the coach of the year this year. And that's DeMeco Ryans. That was the Shanahan guy, which it's awesome. He did what no one expected them to do in Houston, and that's awesome.
But you know what helped him? They hit on a quarterback in the first round.
Yes.
They hit on a stud in the first round.
Yes.
And he did not look like a rookie all year.
Yeah. Yeah. Which
helps. It helps when you have that guy pull the trigger.
Yes, agreed. And like even Stefanski did in Cleveland. That one to me, he did
a good job.
That one I applaud that one. That one to me, I can see. He's been in Cleveland for what, 3 years now?
Mm-hmm.
3 years. 3 years. Playoffs first year. Second year, make the playoffs again. They're top 1 or 2 seed in 4 seed last year. This year they make the playoffs again with 6 or 5 quarterbacks. 5 different quarterbacks, and you come win, you go to the playoffs. That to me, that's coaching right there too.
Here's another one. Mikey Tomlin.
Yes.
Is it 17? Is it how long? 17 years?
Yeah, all time.
He's never had a losing season as the head guy.
Yes. Even think about even Harbaugh, in Baltimore, like I don't think he's even in like the category, but Baltimore, ever since he's been in Baltimore, they've been competitive.
Mm-hmm.
How's that not like coach of the year status stuff? And now he's the number 1 seed in the AFC, home field advantage through the playoffs. Kyle Shanahan, 2 years in a row, the NFC is going through San Fran.
But think about this too, how quick stuff changes. Vrabel was coach of the year 3 years ago, and he's going to find a job pretty quick now.
Yeah.
But so that stuff changes so fast.
Agreed. But the ones that have been stable and like, think about the stability of these. Like the guys, the last who Dable won it last year, and who won it the year before that?
I'm looking this up because I don't know.
Taylor,
Cincinnati. Oh yeah. That was Burrow's.
When they went to Super Bowl
rookie year, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I get like.
Well,
I am with you. Like 3 years ago, Vrabel won it. He had a great year. AFC Championship.
It's one of those things too where it's like the hot name. Like what's the hottest name recently?
Yeah.
So Dable won it 2022. Vrabel won it 21. Kevin Stefanski won it in 20. John Harbaugh won in 19. Matt Nagy for the Bears won in 18. Sean McVay won in 17. Jason Garrett won in 16. Riverboat Ron won in 15. Bruce Arians won in 14. Riverboat Ron again in 13. Bruce Arians again in 12. Jim Harbaugh in 11. Then Bill Belichick 2010. So that's the last 12 years of winners.
And how many of them are head coaches still?
4. 1. Stefanski, Dable, John Harbaugh, McVay.
That's 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Riverboat Ron got fired.
Yeah, he did. Riverboat Ron. Another one you mentioned, Jason Garrett.
Was it 2 name changes? 3 name changes?
Yeah, 2
name changes.
He went to it was the Redskins to the football team to the Commanders, so that's 3.
So 3 name changes.
2 owners.
And he kicked Cantor's ass in the middle of all that.
That boy Ron, Riverboat Ron, baby. Um,
So, and you mentioned the Raiders earlier.
yeah,
Do they give the job to Antonio Pierce? He
you
got it.
know,
I'm not a big like swag guy. I'm not, but
we know.
but 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 he brought that Raider swag back.
Agreed.
He brought the Raiders back.
You could be a Raider fan. I can see that too. Um,
I'm- But my thing is like he just God, I was so impressed with the job he did.
yeah,
But I can see Vrabel going to Oakland,
it's Las
Tennessee's
Vegas. It's Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas. I'm sorry. Um, I know Tennessee's requested Antonio Pierce interview. They've requested Dallas's DC
Dan
for an
Quinn, huh?
interview. Mm-hmm. Uh, Texans OC, and there was another one in there. I know when I was looking at it, but I digress. But Antonio Pierce, you think they give him the job or they go? But you guys,
And
I mean,
totally redeem yourself. I still think the Raiders messed up not hiring Bisaccia, and you're not going to
yeah.
change my mind on that. Um, but Pierce was doing the exact same thing Bisaccia was doing, and Bisaccia didn't get the job. So um,
I mean,
I could see you could do it to make right of what you messed up before, but you also know you're in a franchise that needs to win now or
well,
be competitive now because you put all that
but
money
it's
into that. Because
yeah,
you also know that you're in a division with two teams that one team that's still when they haven't put it together this year, first off, but one team that has been in the AFC championship game since the kid's been quarterback, and that's Patrick Mahomes. And you also know the other one had an injury this year, and when he comes back, another scary player, which is Justin Herbert. Aren't the Chargers in that division with him?
yeah. Who's the fourth team in there for in the AFC West? Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers.
Broncos.
Oh fuck, yeah. And you got two, but in that division you got two elite quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I would say of the top 8 quarterbacks in the league, that's two right there
yeah,
in
yeah,
the same division.
yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that.
And you
And
know, but fuck, man. So I'll be interested to see. I thought Antonio Pierce again. I thought Antonio Pierce did a
oh, agreed,
phenomenal job
agreed.
with just kind of bringing that Raider the attitude the Raiders always had
Yep,
back in the heyday.
agreed with
Just
that.
that
John
swag.
Gruden. Yeah.
Yes. Well, even before then with like Madden,
Oh yeah,
that
I
but
agree with that.
just the swag in the freaking just we're the freaking Oakland we're the Raiders.
Yeah,
That's who we are. You're gonna get your ass kicked,
I agreed.
and we're gonna let you know about it.
I agree. That's definitely true. And they brought it back, and they beat Kansas City on Christmas. Um, so I do agree with that. I don't know if they hire him though.
I-
I think to me, if he does leave, it's Harbaugh.
yeah,
But I think
really, you got Harbaugh, Vrabel out
I,
there.
I
Those
think
are two kind of big dogs
yeah,
right now,
yeah.
and those
I
two are
think
gonna get. Does Harbaugh
ring,
stay
ring.
Michigan?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's the $1 million question. Like people said, oh,
Does he?
they asked him if he's gonna stay. I was like, he just won a national championship. Let him give like a week to celebrate, and then
Yeah, let
when
him enjoy it.
reality hits, then he's gonna make his decision. You know?
I'm kind of curious of the counter offer Michigan's going to put down since he won the Natty.
Yeah.
That counter offer is going to be very large.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially and then Nick Saban just is out the picture now. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that brings his
Dabo.
that's my pick.
Well, that's been the pick for 15 years since Dabo got to Clemson.
Yeah.
Was you remember because what was it? There's a clause in his contract Bama is the only job he's allowed to like
Yeah.
or to entertain.
Yeah.
If he were to leave and whatever, it's for Bama.
Yeah. Yes, I know. And he's an alum of Bama, worked at Bama, so I could see it. But he's not a hot commodity now because Clemson was here, and now they're kind of like this.
Well, he's not playing the transfer portal game,
Yeah,
and that's kind of hurting him right now.
that's true.
Is he's not playing that game,
Yep.
Then you got freaking Lane Kiffin getting every damn transfer portal guy he can to Ole Miss, and they're about to make a run, man. Unfortunately, Ole Miss I think is going to make a fucking run.
Oh baby. Oh,
So
Lane Kiffin. He's a name on the list too, but it's kind of this. I could be completely wrong, but I know if I'm sitting in like Lane Kiffin's chair, Dan Lanning's chair,
why
or
why would I
Kirby,
leave?
why would I leave what I'm building or built to go try to build it or maintain it when I'm building it here? Does that make sense? Am I
Yeah,
speaking idiotic? Because
it's
Dan Lanning in Oregon has made Oregon. He's made
better.
Oregon better, and they're I guess you could say the Georgia or the Bama of the Pac-12 that is going to be dissolved and they're going to the Big Ten. But what they were doing, or what he was doing there, is basically made his job. He just has to get there, and eventually he's going to break that wall where he can get the national championship. But if he goes to Bama, you're not instantly going to win. You think of, like you just said, Ole Miss transfer portal, LSU transfer portal, Georgia transfer portal, A&M transfer portal, Texas, OU. Like you go to Bama, right? It's yes, you have the top, you have 5-star athletes across the board, but you have to bring in your culture when they're used to Nick Saban's culture, and how's that gonna, change things? And
Yeah, it- I
and
agree.
and I don't think you sit there and I don't think money talks, BS walks. We all know that, but I don't think they're gonna leave for the grass that's greener. The grass is already getting kind of green.
Yeah, they were like it's one of those things where it just depends. I think how big an ego you have,
Yeah.
or not ego, but wanting to see what you're building through.
Yeah.
Well, basically just wanting to see. Okay, I'm building this thing. Can I finish it right now?
Yeah.
Here's an interesting name I heard the other day. So say Harbaugh leaves,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do they hire within the OC,
Which I like
or
him.
or I heard this name, Brian Kelly.
I've heard that too.
Leave LSU for Michigan,
Is he an
which
LSU guy?
which I'm about it because I like seeing those guys scramble.
I know you Mr. A&M over here. Um, what else we got? How
Man,
about how
hey, let me
about go ahead.
have you. And now me and Josh talked about this like the 30 the last 30 minutes of the 2-hour episode we had last week. Did you listen to the whole thing?
Yes.
You go the whole okay. You watch any
The
shows over the break? Have you watched any
So I'm glad you asked. So and I texted you. I watched last week's the week before you talked about yes, that's on
Reacher?
my yes. I haven't watched
Oh,
Reacher yet, but I did
oh,
I caught up. I caught up and I watched Secret Invasion. I watched Loki.
I couldn't finish that, man. Secret Invasion was
Yes,
so
it
I
was
couldn't I couldn't get past like episode 3. It was just
yeah.
so like I couldn't
I
do
had
it.
to finish it. I watched and finished it.
Fair enough.
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like
I
okay.
haven't finished Loki yet. That's
Loki's good.
I'm
Loki.
halfway through Loki and I just like for some reason just stopped. So
Yeah,
I need to finish Loki.
Loki's real good. Yeah, that's funny you asked.
Echo came out today.
Oh really? I had to
It's
watch
the
it.
Daredevil with the Netflix Daredevil Kingpin. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a hard like R rating for
I like it.
Disney.
I like
I
it.
do too, because the guy
Picasso.
who plays the guy who plays the Kingpin
Great
on,
kingpin, by the way.
oh my gosh, he's awesome.
Yep.
Like
Great
big fan.
kingpin. Big fan. I
Yes.
know. I watched Daredevil. Great show. Watch Punisher. Great
Yes.
show. Yes. The new show that caught my attention is Abbott Elementary. If you have not
I
watched Abbott
I
Elementary,
started it. I
it's
started it.
we watch it.
I haven't. I'm like 4 minutes in,
It's
and I just like it's slow. It's
it's
kind of
start.
that.
It's just like
It's a s-
The
it's
Office.
yeah, I know, and I wasn't a big fan of the first few episodes of The Office, just
Mm,
because it's just such a slow burn.
I can see that with the Parks. Park. It kind of reminds me of Parks and Rec too. Um,
So I'm gonna get on it though. Like I said,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I got Max
Uh,
for, well, House of the Dragon season 2 is coming out this summer,
yeah.
which fucking excited for.
I can tell.
I'm ready. I am pumped.
Well, it's hard. It's hard for me to watch shows right now. Um, because I don't really watch like I haven't watched like the Hard Knocks with the Miami Dolphins right now
I
either
haven't,
because
I
I've been
haven't
like on the weekends when it was I was watching football and
yeah,
so now it's just this weekend I'm gonna be sitting with my fanboy watching football. Um,
yeah. Well,
how about the Kansas City Chiefs game?
is it zero
Miami
degrees? 0
Miami
degrees?
done messed up. Ron, man, they were sitting pretty 3 weeks ago. We'll go down to the Phillies meltdown here in a second. But Miami, I've been saying this all along. I think they're going to be good, but they're not like
There yet?
they're not as good as what people were cracked out to be because you had the division in your palms. You haven't beat a team. You beat the Cowboys. Don't away on grass, which Dallas is terrible away on grass. But you haven't beat a team that's going to hit you in the mouth and you have to hit them back.
Yeah, they kind of
Like
been the
Buffalo hit them. Like the first time Buffalo had like they beat the tar out of the dang Broncos, dropped 80 almost. Next week they win, and then a week later they beat Buffalo, and Buffalo beat them. You know, beat the living snot out of them. Then they play on, go down, get the hit off wins and losses or whatever. But the one I still think that's going to haunt them, they can't ever recover from and hurt half their players and hurt their pride, hurt their ego, is that butt kicking that Baltimore gave them. That one I don't think you can recover from, especially it's a week. It was a week before the last game of the year, before you go into the playoffs. Like I don't think they're coming back from that one. So I think them going to Kansas City, a Kansas City team that hasn't put it together yet, and as soon as they put it together, they're scary.
they are, but
Because their defense is top 4 in the league right now. You know,
right.
as soon as their offense starts catching footballs and understanding what they got, they're scary. Them in Baltimore are scary to me.
The I saw a stat. It said like Miami since like 2000 is 0-10 in weather below 40 degrees or below.
Well, it's over. It's under 40,
It's
Bubba.
gonna be zero. Was it zero?
Zero.
Right? Is
They
the
said zero at game time, and the wind chill is going to
oh
make it negative 19 degrees.
f that.
I'm going to sit here with my little blankie and watch that game.
I am too. I'm going sucks to suck. Is that Saturday?
Yeah, it's Saturday
Sunday.
night. The Peacock,
Oh,
on the Peacock, you're gonna have to buy the Peacock if you don't got it. Shout out to the Peacock for making Swifties buy Patty Mahomes and
really?
Travis Kelsey's game.
Peacock?
Yes, yeah,
That's
yes,
that's the only thing.
yeah.
I
It's only
bet
shown
you
on Peacock.
Ooh, what about NFL Sunday Ticket? That's the question.
I don't know. Good question. Because the team
Because
you bought it
I
for is
do.
not fun.
Yeah, I know. I do have Sunday Ticket. That's been a pretty good event. I've watched more NFL this year than I have in 10 years,
Mm,
just because of Sunday Ticket. Just because I can go quad box and watch 4 games at once.
that's nice. I
Yes.
did it. I did it.
And
I did
so
it Sunday with the two. The Eagles game and the Cowboys game.
Big fan.
It's cool, man. Um, I just don't like it's like little on my screen, and I wish they'd make it full screen. Like it's
Right.
just like it takes half the screen instead of being full screen.
Yes.
Get it fixed.
That's
YouTube.
that's why I always go quad, just because it's gonna fill everything up.
Yeah,
I always try to go quad box if I can.
yeah, but I only get two. I don't get fancy. I only get 2 games sometimes. What else we got
Oh, yeah.
here? Let's talk about Philly here.
Philly,
Not a
Philly.
I'm not a big Philadelphia. I like the don't get me wrong. I like the team and the organization as a whole, but I'm not a big Philly fan. You know this. You know
What?
this. You know this. How okay, in your
As soon
opinion,
as soon as Jason
6
Kelsey
weeks ago,
retires, as soon as
huh?
Jason Kelsey retires, that team can just go go off the deep end.
Well, how about the fact that there was like
Wait, I'm
what
sorry,
six
Philly. Sorry, my application's still going. So
six games left in the season.
Mhm.
6 games left. You have the easiest after you pass the juggernaut. You go 4-1 in the juggernaut or whatever. Then you get the back end. You get 5 games left in the end of the game, and you have the easiest schedule. Supposed to be the easiest schedule, and you go 1-5. That's kind of hard to that's hard to explain and defend. Philly, you're the hottest team in football, 10-1, sitting real pretty. You knock out some of the best teams in your gauntlet, then you show up and you go 1-5. That's kind of hard to
Why?
defend. Why? Yeah.
No, like what was the reason? Did Jalen Hurts just play like dog doo doo
I
for
don't know.
those 5 weeks? Did the defense not? I guess I think again, I haven't watched much Philly, obviously, but from what I
Turnovers.
understand, turnovers. The defense isn't great right now. They're
Yeah.
pretty average at best,
Yeah.
and they're just not taking, like you said, just not taking care of the football. And
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is it doesn't seem like he's trying to do everything by himself.
At times,
Like he
when
goes,
when he loses
no
his
one's making
weapon,
a play. No one's making a play right now. I gotta go make a play.
yeah, yeah. He was acting like when Patrick Mahomes was struggling, he would do that stuff. Oh,
Just try to put Superman the cape on and
yeah,
say, "Let's get on my back. Let's go."
yeah. And it's kind of hard to do in the NFL.
100%. 100%.
Hard to do.
Oh yeah, man.
So you
So,
got
what's up? Sorry.
who you picks? Who you got? So we
Oh,
got Cleveland. We got what's up? I was gonna wait
that's what I
till
was gonna.
the Jabroni got on, but
Gosh dang it.
he ain't getting on.
Yeah.
So what you got? We'll go to your topic.
Ah man, just um, guys, like you said, you said you haven't seen Reacher yet, correct?
No, I gotta watch the first episode.
Oh, dude,
I
it's
want to
so
watch
good.
it.
Good. So, have you seen
you
season
get
one?
no man. You're getting a
Oh, you haven't
chubby
seen
over
it
a show.
all.
No,
You
dude.
haven't seen it all. Okay, okay. Sorry, I thought
No,
you saw
so
season one.
dude.
Dude,
No.
it's bro.
If my parents have watched it and they watched both seasons, it has to be pretty good.
Bro, it
They watch shows like crazy, but that's one they said that it was pretty good.
yeah,
Um,
it's they and Alan Richmond, the guy
yeah.
who plays
Dad.
Reacher, Thad, he's
Yeah.
a big son of a gun. He is huge in that. I mean, he's
Yeah,
a
I've
big
seen
dude.
that. I saw it all over the billboards in LA.
He
They had another
I bet
billboard there.
I bet you couldn't walk past went a mile without seeing some kind of ad for some kind of
Oh,
movie or a
dude,
show.
yes. Oh, no doubt. There's movies and stuff like that all
Oh,
over LA.
you know what movie I'm looking forward to? The
What's that?
Beekeeper.
That
The
looks
Beekeeper.
entertaining.
That
Not gonna
does.
lie.
That's a popcorn. That's a
Oh,
popcorn movie right there.
oh yeah, dude. I've been waiting for popcorn. Just go to the movies, get some popcorn, and sit there and watch a movie. It's been a long time, since here's an interesting stat for you. Christmas break,
Well,
you know,
this is the last movie you saw.
17. But no, I haven't watched a movie. I can't remember. I can't remember what movie it was. It's been a long time. But for like Christmas break was what, 2.5 weeks?
Yeah.
17 days or whatever. The 17 days we were home for two.
Well, yeah, really?
Yeah. So Atlanta,
Yeah.
went to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
came home that night, or after all that, we were there for
Oh,
3 days.
okay. Pump, 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 pump. How's Atlanta? How's Clemson?
Atlanta's
Let's
okay.
so
Pump.
DBAB. I think we talked about it. We talked about it last week. I can't remember. Our boy Jack here, master's degree in athletic leadership. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir. That's
Is that the
correct.
degree
That's correct.
from Clemson University?
Go
So
Tigers.
you know he had to throw the guns up when he was walking, but
Dang straight I did, baby.
he
Wreck 'em.
he's a proud Clemson alumni,
Yeah.
proud alumni of Clemson.
Yeah.
Um, got to go to the campus, walk, got to
Yeah.
graduate.
I did.
Got to see Hot Atlanta.
It
Did
wasn't
y'all
very
go to the
hot
college
though.
football? Did y'all
We
go to the
did.
college football Hall of Fame?
That was
Dude,
probably
that that
that
that
was the
is my
best thing.
That's why I want to. That's the only reason I want to go to Atlanta is to go to
It's
the college football Hall of Fame.
that was probably the high point of Atlanta. Um, Atlanta's like Dallas, to be honest. The only
Just
difference
everything,
is
everyone on top of everybody.
no, not even like that. Atlanta has like a main like where Centennial Park is. Centennial Park is where they hosted the Olympics, and
Hmm.
this park is literally in the middle of Atlanta, and all the touristy spots are literally in a what 10 15 minute area.
Oh,
Like so, like
from that area.
Coca-Cola, the original Coca-Cola's on uh, a campus that we can't. It's a Georgia State University, and they
Georgia
mentioned that
Tech.
it's yeah, and then they said
Georgia Tech's in, Georgia Tech's in Atlanta.
yeah, but so is Georgia State. Anyway, so
Is it really?
yes,
I
so
did
they
not
have
know that.
Coca-Cola, they have the aquarium, the Civil Rights Museum, Centennial Park, which they hosted the Olympics in '96. If you haven't watched Richard Jewell, recommend. Great movie. It'll tell you what happened during the 1996 Olympics. It's a historical event. And then across the little ways, you'll have the big hotel, the Marriott, and you also have the College Football Hall of Fame. By far, if you go to Atlanta, you can go to those. They have like a day pass where you can go to all four of them and enjoy every minute of it. But what I loved is College Football Hall of Fame. We walked a little bit and saw the Mercedes Benz. Beautiful
How
setup.
was it? How was that?
It's
That
beautiful setup.
stadium always looks freaking. That stadium looks awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful setup. Sweet, and it's right there by where the Hawks play. What is it? State Farm Arena, I think is what it's called. Sweet.
Sure.
I don't know. We went and saw that. We saw the giant falcon that's in front. Great, not facilities or whatever. Clemson, by the way, shout out to Clemson. Your facilities are sweet. Your setup is sweet. Your campus layout is awesome. It's like that old school college feel. Old school university on the hills, and the buildings are inside the hills.
So
Uh,
not tech.
Not tech. Uh,
The
I still
opposite. The opposite of tech.
opposite of tech. I still give it to tech because the Spaniard architect,
Thing.
the red and black, can't go wrong with that sleek look. But they have like a little college, like a college town. They call it Tiger Town, where the bars and restaurant are right there on like close to campus. Um,
Okay.
and Clemson is just, it's college town, and it. It's cool. Uh, I recommend it. If you're just gonna check out a campus, go look at it. It's sweet. I was
So.
disappointed because I left for the bowl game.
Mhm.
When I was there, we toured the stuff that took a bunch of pictures on the Tiger Walk. It was in the Little John Arena, which is where they play their volleyball, basketball, stuff like that, and saw the Memorial Stadium, Death Valley. Howard's Rock, I saw it. Clemson was a cool place. Me and
It'd
Hannah
be
were
nice if
like,
they toured the athletic facility,
yes, agreed.
like the football complex.
Agreed. That would have probably made it so much better. But Clemson was cool. Atlanta was really cool. Heck of an experience. I'm glad I got to experience it. I'm sure Josh says the same thing because he's a proud Clemson alum as well. But Atlanta's cool. Not my favorite city to visit on my list of cities, which we can have a whole nother debate about the cities to visit. But it's not up there. Atlanta is cool. Don't get me wrong. Food was good. Where we stayed was good. Atlanta's up there. Glad we visited. I'm a big, so you would love this. So we're big Marvel guys, right?
Yes.
Big movie
100%.
guys.
Yes.
The Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Avengers. A lot of the Avengers scene was filmed in Atlanta, Georgia. So Hannah, my parents, and my brother kind of made fun of me because I geek out with this stuff. I went to the park, where the park in the Infinity War, where they fight, where they meet Thanos' henchmen for the first time.
Yes.
That's not Central Park. That's the park in Atlanta, Georgia. And
Okay.
I walked that park where they had that scene.
And you're just like smiling.
It happened right here. Like, even though it was a film. And then behind, a little further on the opposite side of it, like there's a highway on the opposite side, was the school. And what movie was filmed in that school?
Spider-Man? Yep.
Spider-Man. Yeah. And I was like that. All the stuff, I was walking through it, and I was like, man, this is where this was filmed. This was filmed, and they were making fun of me when I did that. But
So speaking of making fun, I bet your wife had a hell of a day at Warner Brothers. Got to see
oh,
the Central Perk, dude.
yes,
It was like probably 3 hours after y'all freaking left. I was just going through Instagram and I go, oh,
yes,
and that's what I messaged Hannah going, gosh dang it, I wish I saw this sooner, or I just
yes,
would have said, hey, pick me up something because and I'm a big, and I told the audience this last week, big 90s sitcom fan. Love
yes,
Friends is one of my
yes,
favorite
yes.
series.
Well, they're gonna milk that show till it's dry.
Oh,
It's a
100%.
great show. But Warner Brothers was great. That which is in Burbank, California. So we also got to experience California. Hannah, whole other topic. But Warner Brothers Studios was sweet because, of course, Friends. Also Two
Right.
and a Half Men fan, big time
Yes.
Two and a Half Men fan. Full House, Fuller House, Big Bang
What
Theory.
was
Bob
not a big
loves
Fuller House.
Adishella. Well, and like a
How
lot of these. Go ahead.
how is the Bob in
I haven't
Alshella?
watched it. I haven't
I
watched
haven't
it.
either. I love Mike and Molly,
Yeah,
and
and
he's
that was filmed there too. So
by the way, he lost
I
a
saw it.
lot of weight. He
I saw
lost a
that.
lot of weight.
Yep. And then All American. I love All American. If you haven't watched All American,
Never seen it.
I've watched it. It's
Never
good.
seen it.
It's a good CW. Hey, Slappy joined the party. But anyway, All American is filmed there, and it's like made 3 spots. Abbott Elementary is being filmed there
Okay.
right now too. And so it was kind of cool. So like the first hour, they show you the studio of all these buildings where things were filmed, and they have a tour guide with you, and the guide stops you and talks about, hey, right here, 1956, Casablanca was filmed here, which it wasn't. I don't remember. I was like, I didn't care about that 1956 movie. I wasn't even born. So, but it went down the streets and it showed you like this movie was filmed here, but just look at it and this is what's filmed here. And then you go to this section. I was like, it's cool. And it says, you remember Spider-Man where he's hanging upside down and they kiss Mary Jane? That was down this alley. The Prince song, his music video was filmed down this alley. Will Smith's Wild Wild West, Wild Wild West song was filmed right here. there's a picture. I have a picture of the replica of the Full House, which we all know it's in San Fran, but it was the replicas in Warner Brothers Studios where they filmed, and that is cool. And then they let you. So this is for an hour. They drive you around the studio and show you this. One of the biggest lots, like one of the biggest lots in America, and one of the biggest facilities is lot, I guess, number 16. It's where they filmed Perfect Storm. Did you ever watch Perfect Storm? It has like a so many gallon tank in there, and they filmed where the boat scene is. Oh, great movie!
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it. It's filmed in this lot.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's filmed in this lot, and that's where Abbott Elementary is housed at the moment. That's where it's being filmed. And it was like showed you we went to like the 2.5 Men lot where it was filmed. You know, I'm a big 2.5 Men fan before they got rid of Charlie Sheen. But Warner Brothers Studio was cool. That was like the Geek came out. Movie Geek, TV Geek, and there was like we drove down this like city hall looking thing, and the lady goes, "Anybody know what this is from?" And I said, "That's Batman." And she goes, "You good?" Pulls up a video of the old Adam West Batman, and I said, "Wow, that was a long time ago when me and Adam used to watch that old school Adam West Batman for a really long time." And then I was like, "That looks so familiar," and I pull up to it, and it's the old Adam West Batman scene. And MJ, Space Jam, right? I got a picture to show you. I'll get a picture to show you of Adam. They had the Space Jam 11s on this mannequin in Space Jam. They have his Michael Jordan's uniform he wore for Space Jam, and they had
from Toon Squad.
From Toon Squad, it's the actual
ones
uniform
that they
stole
from his house.
It's the Space Jam 11s he's wearing. They have it on a mannequin in the Warner Brothers Studios. LeBron James, they have it too, but it wasn't the shoes he wore for the game. You know, which are different shoes, and you can see it in the picture. I'll show you. I'll send you guys the picture. But Warner Brothers Studios, recommend. It's cool stuff. A lot of stuff was filmed that you didn't even know was filmed in Warner Brothers Studios, and it's like open lot, so a lot of people get to film things and share the lot from even different companies that aren't Warner Brothers. So, yeah. So what else you got, Clete?
Man, nothing much. Adam, how we doing? Good?
Yeah, man.
How's Clemson?
I'm good. Clemson was good. Georgia was good. Clemson is a very beautiful campus. Looks like something from a Hallmark movie. It does look like they filmed some Hallmark movies. I'll say that.
Yeah, I would.
But no, it was a very, very nice city. I tend to watch more Clemson's sporting events than I used to in the past. I will say that. I wasn't real big into them, but I might be a little bit more into them than I am Alabama as soon as Dabo leaves. I'm not much of a fan of Dabo. So hopefully.
He's saying Dabo. He's saying Dabo. You heard it from Adam. He said Dabo to Bama.
Dabo to Bama only because it's really tough. I mean, especially with the ACC, all the situations going on with the ACC. How are you going to be able to afford to keep him there when Bama could give you their whole house if they wanted to?
Is the ACC going to survive?
No shot. If Dabo leaves the ACC, no shot the ACC survives.
Well, it's not even
as soon as Clemson goes down, the rest of them will go down. Florida State already wants no part of them.
Clemson's down right now, baby. Florida State was the representative for ACC, baby, and look what happened to that. 33 players stood out. 33 players stood out.
ACC doesn't survive.
Oh, I know. I don't think they do either. I think they screwed the pooch with everyone else building and branding like crazy. The ACC was just sitting there nice and pretty. Like, we're okay. We got Clemson. We got Florida State. We got Miami. We're good, baby. We're all right. We're going to be okay. Everybody else is going to keep getting bigger and around us. We're just going to sit pretty right here.
I do wish Vinny was here so I could go back and talk about what happened to that boy Michael Penix that everybody thought he was a champion. He got embarrassed by a real defense. Playing Pac-12 defenses is nothing compared to playing the actual defense.
I literally
Man scored one whole touchdown, came out the break, and threw a pick. Threw it right to him.
Yeah.
Came out the break. Come on, man. That man went from
the semifinal game. He earned him some money
against a Big 12 defense. Come on, man. Don't play me. Don't play with me.
Mijo, let me finish before you start interrupting me, okay? He earned him some money the semifinal game. He got that money taken away from him during the championship game.
When he plays real defenses, yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
He played, and then to Josh also isn't here, but to also talk, he had 400 yards game against Oregon. Okay, Pac-12, same thing. No defense in the Pac-12.
Big guy, easy.
No defense in the Pac-12. None. Zero.
This was my argument from the whole beginning. Was the defense of Michigan is legit because they also took out the team that I said was going to roll to the national championship easy. That game I didn't get to watch because you know what I was doing, but I didn't get to watch, but I kept track of it, and I saw Michigan was in the ball game with Bama, and I was like, yeah, Michigan's defense is pretty solid, and they're going to win a lot. They're going to win this thing if they get to that point because I knew Michigan was good. And, me and Adam were watching the big game on the way home on Thanksgiving.
How does Washington even win the number one offensive line? Because they allowed no sacks and played defenses. What defense? What defenses did they play this year? Blake Corum.
Oregon's probably I understand that, but it's probably the better one of who they played. Yeah. And he froze, and now he's going to get kicked out here.
Did he freeze or did I freeze?
He froze.
Oh, yeah. Pixels, baby. Pixels. We got Pixels over here. The brothers Pixels. Atta baby, Adam. Anyway, he was getting fired up, and the only thing I mentioned to say is Michigan, the defense of Michigan was going to be the equalizer against Washington.
Yep.
But they go Texas's defense. Well, Texas's defense is a little bit different than the Big Ten defense of Michigan, and I knew that. And I knew that one thing that Washington hasn't played that Michigan could do was run the ball. Name me a team that Washington played all year that could run the rock like Michigan could.
Zero.
That I knew. Name me a team Washington played outside of Oregon.
I said, name me a team. I literally just asked. I said, name me a team that can run the rock like Michigan.
No, I know. I'm saying, name me a team outside of Oregon that Washington played this year. They had no business.
They had business.
They scored one touchdown.
They had business, my man. They beat Texas. That's business, baby.
Okay.
That's all.
Big whoop. They beat Texas.
Hey, man. That's Texas' 2 losses on the year, dude. 2,
I'd have put Georgia over Texas anyways.
I would have put Georgia over Bama.
Yes.
I'd have put Georgia over Texas. Because Bama performs every time. We haven't had a Big 12 team perform yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way that Michigan came out and played both the semifinal and the national championship, I don't think that it would have mattered who was on the other side. I think Michigan probably would have won either way.
Yeah, they were on a mission.
I do think that I would have preferred Georgia to be put in there after the ass whooping that they put on, just because they had something to prove themselves, and just since they unfortunately lost so late,
it didn't help them.
But I do think that Michael Penix's draft stock should have gone down. That's just in my opinion.
For one game?
So
one game against when it really mattered against real defenses.
Injuries is his draft stock, in my opinion. His injuries have made his draft stock lower.
What injury? His injury?
His injuries. He got hurt. He's missed.
He missed 4 seasons. Yeah, he's a 6th-year senior. He should have made it to the national championship by now.
We're with you, big guy.
He had 4 injuries at Indiana. Transferred to Washington. Had a above-average season last year, and then got beat when it mattered. And then this season he made it to the national championship. Also got beat when it mattered. and had more turnovers when it mattered.
Well, at least it was a better game for a little bit, and compared to last year's Horned Frog incident.
I would agree. I would say that Washington hung in there. I also picked Texas and Alabama to both go to the national championship, so I will say that I'll have to backtrack on that. But I also never picked Washington ever at the very beginning of the season.
I thought Washington was really going to lose. I thought they were going to lose to Oregon the second time.
I thought they were going to lose in the Pac-12 championship as well.
I can go back and say that because that's what I really thought they were going to lose. Damn.
I do think that they were.
Stars are giving the wild right now.
I know they are.
I do think that Washington and Oregon, after watching them the second time, Washington was the better football team.
Yeah.
But I also think that their experience, Washington, because they're all older, helped their situation. As to Oregon, their oldest player on the team was Bo Nix.
Yeah.
True.
Which is why I always make the comment, by this point, Washington should have been in the national championship because they're returning seniors just like Michigan was.
Yeah.
95% of their roster returned because they had unfinished business, they said.
Yeah, well, they've been in the college football playoff for 3 years. In all 3 years, they had losses that have prevented them from going further. Like they lost the year they lost to TCU last year. They lost the year before that. I can't remember what to, and then this year they had to finish it. You have to.
They lost to Georgia the year before that.
Yeah, and a butt kicking. But
yeah,
they had unfinished business and they finished the deal. So good job, Michigan. They deserve it. They were the better team, and you kind of impressed me with how they played Ohio State anyway.
I did like the first half. I did like both college football semifinal games. I do think that they finally maybe have gotten it right because both games were very close. It wasn't a blowout one way or the other. Both games could have definitely gone the other way. The last play call that Alabama had will still frustrate me, but
frustrated.
And the same thing with Texas's play call. I don't agree with that one, throwing the same play 2 times in a row to the same receiver. But I'm also not a coach.
Playmakers got to make plays in big time.
Yeah, and that's why the cornerback made the play.
I understand, and that's what I told somebody. I can't remember what it was. They were just trying to put their big daddy on their big daddy and see who was going to make a play. That was me. That's what I said, and next year's 12 teams. How about the hype? All right, how about the big hype? They said that they were going to make a big EA Sports to make a big announcement for college football 24, and I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure some of you some Joe Jacks out there stayed up all night waiting for that big announcement from EA. I knew it was coming.
Yeah. And every commercial came on and going,
Yeah, I figured you would be.
I didn't wait up. I didn't even know about it, honestly.
I saw it, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
It's probably Clete.
Yeah, so you can go get your.
I'll see it on Twitter when they release it.
I'll see it when I believe it.
So you can get your shit kicked in that too, just like you did in Madden.
Boy, I whooped you. Oh, you're talking to
I'm
Clete?
I'm talking to Clete.
Oh, okay.
Adam, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Mr. Rage quit over here.
I don't know what you're talking about, Adam.
I never got to witness that, but I wish I would have at this point. I had a rage quit myself if it was Blake's league.
It was.
I ran field in the Super Bowl. I ran field goal block every play on defense, and then I punted on first down.
Cletus's rage quit was probably the funniest thing that whole man. Or maybe the time I had 10 first-round draft picks. That or Cletus's rage quit was probably the funniest.
That was
thing.
Pretty good. That was pretty good.
Good times at Richmond High. But no, I was like, not happening. And another thing, I was going to say the picks for this week's Super Wild Card Weekend. Since Mr. Fired Up over here we can get him fired up on some takes. An interesting take, Adam. Me and Cletus talked about this earlier.
Uh-huh.
The Dolphins
They're going to lose.
Fluke or the real deal?
I don't think that they're a fluke. I mean, their weather in Miami, it doesn't compare to any weather that they play anywhere else. Weather makes a big impact on a lot of players, especially when you live on the beach. I mean, shit. You're playing 60-degree weather every single day. They're not a fluke. I wouldn't say that.
I told Jack Jack that I think since like 2000, Miami's 0-10 in weather under 40.
I will say that they did lose their number one pass rusher for a torn Achilles. That does make a big difference.
Well, I mean, okay.
The Steelers are going to figure that out with T.J. Watt not playing this week. Like, the Steelers weren't going to make it out the first round anyways, but T.J. Watt's not playing this week. That's going to make a big difference.
Injuries are part of the game, and guess who team has just decided to make it work? And Cleveland, and Philly. We don't feel bad for Philly, do we? And their injury.
I feel bad for Philly. Because everybody's going to – you could say the same thing for them. Are they a fluke? They're not a fluke. They got hit by an injury bug, but they've made it work.
I don't know if they – I don't know.
They won early.
I've never said
caused them to be okay.
The only fluke team I've said is a fluke is Miami because you literally have everything in front of you and you can't seal the deal. Philly has at least –
What do they have in front of them?
They had the division in front of them, home field through the playoffs, and they let it all slip away. They got the butt kicked in Baltimore. Got the butt kicked by Buffalo.
By the number one team in the AFC. Okay, continue.
You win that. That is what? Home field
with maybe the MVP all over again, but continue. Lamar Jackson? Come on now. Lamar Jackson put his shit. He stuck his whole foot inside of the 49ers.
Yes. I'm said
the number one team in the NFC.
Coming in an hour later, I literally said earlier the scariest team is Baltimore. You're not changing. You're not going to say it. You're not going to say it. I'm saying that Miami literally had everything in front of them. Me and Clete can vouch for that. I said Baltimore's scary.
Yes.
Baltimore is my pick for the Super Bowl. I said Buffalo, beginning of the year, Buffalo and Dallas. I could still say Buffalo and Dallas because they're still in the hunt. Some of you other guys can't vouch for their people, whoever they pick, but I got Buffalo.
We're going to backtrack. You gave me only one team that made the Miami a fluke.
How many teams they beat with a winning record besides the Cowboys?
Probably 0.
All right, rest my case. Continue on. Next question. Cletus, who do you got? Cleveland and Texans. Who do you got?
Ooh.
Texans.
Yeah, I agree with Adam.
Texans.
I mean, the freaking C.J. Stroud's playing, and D'Amico Ryan's got those guys going right now.
Cleveland.
But
I got Cleveland.
I can see Joey Flacco throw a few picks.
Big game Joe, baby.
Being Joey Flacco. Or
Big game Joe's going back to the couch.
Defense, baby.
Nah.
All right. Kansas City and Miami.
Kansas City.
Chiefs.
If the game was in Miami, I would say Miami, but the game's
I would still pick
Kansas City.
I
got Kansas City.
KC.
Unfortunately, I wish it was Miami, but it's not going to be.
I even in Miami, I'd pick Kansas City. Okay, we got Sunday afternoon or Sunday 12 o'clock game, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Mason Rudolph ain't going to win that game, no matter what. Without T.J. Watt on the defensive side, Josh Allen running for 200 yards on him just for fun.
I got the Bills too. Before we get to
let me ask, and I know T.J. Watt's hurt, but the last few weeks with Buffalo, it's like Josh Allen has to put on the Superman cape and win the damn game for him.
But he also gets Miami.
That situation too,
Miami deserved to win that game, and they pissed down their leg and couldn't finish the thing. Josh Allen had 3 turnovers by himself.
I would say Tua is probably not the strongest candidate for the Miami Dolphins. He threw into a double coverage on a second down play when he had more than enough time, and he threw it into double coverage. Like, that's just poor That's just poor quarterback reading on his end.
Yeah.
Like, he had no excuse. It was a set throw that he threw directly. It's the same. Like, everybody was making the comment about, Patrick Mahomes.
Look at this guy.
Tyreek Hill down there somewhere. That's literally what Tua's been doing, is Tyreek down there somewhere.
Yeah.
We're picking teams for the wild card weekend. We picked Cleveland and Texans already. Who you got? We'll catch you up, Joshua.
I picked Cleveland too.
Let's go, baby. I got Cleveland. They picked the Texans. All right.
So I've been a big believer in what Joe Flacco's been doing up there in the state Ohio State. They've been on a little revival, so I think he has a little bit better weapons compared to what's going on in Houston. But we'll see. It should be a good game because I like
Houston's the youngest team in the NFL too. Let's not think about that. Youngest team. So
I like CJ Stroud though.
Flannel Fred over here. Okay, we just got done talking about Miami and Kansas City. We all picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, another stat to help back that up for all of us because it hurts my heart because it's my dad's team, but I'm picking the Chiefs as well. But Miami, in games where the weather is like what is predicted to be, like a certain degree, they haven't won a game. So I don't expect that to change.
Yeah, welcome to the freaking podcast.
An hour and a half later.
I've made that talk. I made that comment twice.
Yeah, he told me that now.
Steelers,
but we all picked
Bills.
The Chiefs.
Steelers, Bills.
Bills.
That's who we've all picked too. Oh, all right, baby. Let's go with this one. The 3:30 game on Sunday. The Green Bay Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Pure pinche Cowboys. Bring it on. Let's go, baby.
Cowboys,
I got the Cowboys.
Revenge is the best dish served cold, my man.
I will say I got the Cowboys. Hopefully they.
What you got, Clete? You're gonna be the difference guy and go Green Bay. But I will say this: Dallas,
Green Bay.
Bay.
The last 10 meetings, Green Bay is 9-1.
That's what they had Rodgers. That's what had Aaron Rodgers.
I understand that.
And Brett Favre. So
the stats are the stats, sir.
Stats are the stats.
I knew that stat. I knew that stat was coming up.
Stats are the stats.
I knew
become 9-2.
I knew that stat was coming up from one of you, Joe Jacks. I knew one of them was going to bring it up, and I still am heartbroken from that sideline catch from Aaron Rodgers, and that is a catch. Anyway,
so what do you think, Clete?
I think the Cowboys just better. I really do.
They are the better team.
They are better.
Dallas.
Again,
I'm
clean sweep. Dallas Cowboys.
I'm being cautious because my fandom resumes are getting passed out through the 31 other teams. So
you missed that conversation.
The Cowboys could always use another one,
dude.
All right, baby. This is the one I want to hear.
Mine and Jack's buddy Tony sent me a Dallas Cowboy bandwagon fan application. When he saw my post.
Yeah, I was about to say you posted on Facebook.
Oh, I was so
X
mad.
And all that.
Shout out. You missed that conversation. We had that conversation already.
All right, go ahead, Jack.
Anyway,
take it away.
All right, this one we got the Detroit Lions versus the Los Angeles Rams. This one to me,
may be the best game of the weekend.
This to me it is. I agree 100% because the Rams, scary team to play because they figured it out at the end of the year, and it's also Matthew Stafford. You know, this is the storyline: Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff.
I'm coming home.
Also, the Rams have started to put pieces together that made them a Super Bowl winner a couple years ago, and the Lions are young and haven't been where these Rams have. Right?
Let's not forget for a second the Lions did lose Sam Laporta to an injury. The number one rookie tight end and the number one receiver outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Second leader in receptions. You take that out. What do? You
got to run the rock. And who has one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL?
Aaron Donald right in the middle.
Los Angeles Rams, one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL.
This one I am interested though. I think this one could go either way.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. You know,
he's going to go Lions.
I'm going Rams.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Rams.
That's my boy.
I'm going.
I got Rams. Mine was never a question.
Homecoming, baby. Matthew Stafford's homecoming.
He's going to show the Lions what they gave away.
Yep, that's exactly what I think.
I got Matthew Stafford in the Rams.
Sorry, Mr. Fandom. Pick your team. Go ahead and pick the Lions. Pick the little baby cat on your chest right here. I'm going Rams. Rams by 100.
Love Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's one of my favorite coaches.
Dan Campbell ain't in the pads, brother.
I understand that, but he's still one of my favorite coaches. But
the other one got fired.
Ram, 100%.
no.
The Rams are. I think the Rams.
Watch
just
out, Dan
down
Campbell,
to-
if you're listening.
Say that again.
My kneecap, baby.
Whammies.
You got the Rams. Oh shit, Adam,
Whammies.
who you got?
I got the Rams. It's not even a question to me.
Oh, Josh.
Of course, I got to roll with the boys, man. Like, after their bye, they started the season 3-6. Went into their bye week, figured some stuff out, got some health, got healthy, and whatnot, and just went on a run. The only team that they lost to after the bye was the Ravens in overtime on that punt return. So they've been able to figure some stuff out. They've been able to get that run game going, which helps out with their pass game, with their play action stuff that they like to do, their rollout stuff they like to do. The only thing that concerns me is they got a great rush defense, but their pass defense has a lot to be desired, left to be desired. So, if they don't have a great game there, it's going to be it'll be entertaining for sure.
You stop the run, you stop Jared Goff. That's the Patriots.
Amen.
Yep.
So next one. So right now they're the hottest team in the NFC. My opinion. Hottest team in the NFC. My
I
opinion.
agree.
And it's the last game, Monday night, watching the Manning cast. It's going to be the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well,
obviously, I'll go first.
I actually don't know the injury report. Who's all playing for the Eagles? Because that does make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm sure a lot of those are probably going to be game time type stuff, unless somebody has a major boo boo.
The only one I know that's a
automatic.
major one is AJ Brown. I don't know the thing of him.
I mean, who am I kidding? I don't think it matters. But, regardless of what anybody thinks, Baker's done a great thing with them Buccaneers, baby.
I agree.
I also think, too, like, the way, like, what Baker's done in Tampa has been good compared to what, they've had to kind of, like, take over for with Brady and stuff like that. They've done great stuff there. The thing for me is going to be how the Eagles have finished the year, right? And how it just seems like they're just a mess. There's a bunch of turmoil. I think I saw a stat the other day. It's like they were the first team in the NFL to start 10-0, and then, or since like the 70s, they were the first team to start 10-0 and then win win 12 games to finish the year or something like that. Like so, so obviously they didn't finish the year strong.
So what are you trying to say, Josh? Say it with your chest.
I'm going Bucks.
He's going
I think
Bucks.
that continues. I think
Bucks.
that streak continues.
Mm.
They got upset in Philly.
Okay.
It's in Tampa, but okay. Upset. Tampa beats
check Tampa.
All right.
Well,
Tampa beats Philly and Tampa. Got it.
I actually, yeah, I mean,
go Adam. You got it.
No, I would. I
Go,
mean,
Adam.
If AJ Brown remains hurt, I mean, I'm probably still going to say Philly only because the way I saw Baker perform this last week, I just don't know. He looks like he's fighting an injury himself, but he's out there because he knows the team needs him. I know he's got the dog in him, but I just don't think that he can hang up with the defense that the Eagles have for him. He played who would he play? Like the Panthers, and only scored 9 points against the Panthers. Like you're not going to be able. You're not going to be able to do that against the Eagles and win. You're not going to score 9 points. You got to get in the end zone. You got to get Mike Evans out there. You got to get these players going. And he just looks like, I mean, as well as he's played all season, he just looked like he was playing hurt. And we know that he's playing hurt. He's been battling a lot of injuries. He takes a lot of hits. He's a very high sacked quarterback. And I just don't know if the pass rush is going to benefit him as much as I would like the Buccaneers to win. I just don't think that Baker's going to be healthy enough to have the dog in him in the fourth quarter if the game stays close.
Here's an interesting stat. Pass defense in NFL, 30th, Philadelphia Eagles. Go ahead. So you picking Philly.
I still think Philly will probably win.
Philly and Tampa. Cletus.
What's up?
Who you got?
Ooh, it's tough. I think this maybe, I don't know, depending on who, like Adam said, depending on like who's playing for Philly is going to make a big difference. Baker's played really well, and who's the Who's the dog in this game? Y'all know
Tampa.
The Buccaneers.
the Bucks are the dog.
You ain't even got to look. Why would anybody pick Philadelphia not beating the Buccaneers?
I don't know, Adam.
What
Vegas is sometimes
games
some
at the end of the year,
weird stuff.
your favorite by all 6 games, and you only win 1. That kind of skews your numbers a little bit.
Yeah, can I see Tampa winning? Yeah, I can. You know, I
You
mean,
calling it? Is that your take?
Tampa beats Philly.
Yeah, I mean,
Tampa beats Philly. So we got
Just
2
roll
Tampa
with it.
picks. We got 2
yeah,
Tampa
fuck
picks
it.
here.
Just right.
Man,
Yeah.
you ain't counting to 10.
I know, homie. Chill.
Orale, homies. Chill.
Orale.
Fuck.
Chill,
Chill.
man.
Yeah.
Take me a while to think, man.
Philly.
Yeah, let's go Tampa. I go
I got
Tampa.
You don't sound real confident on that.
I'm not confident in it.
He was confident with the Rammies. He's not confident with Tampa and Philly. This one's like a toss up. This one's to be like, I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
The dog in the fight, it really wouldn't hurt my feelings if either of them lose. It also wouldn't hurt if one of them wins and the other one loses. It's like a toss up. It's a game you're gonna sit there and watch. Unless it's a terrible game, you're not.
Whoever wins plays the 49ers next, regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, I mean, you're gonna get one playoff win regardless of who comes next. So it doesn't really.
It's like, okay, do we like try to keep each other safe so we go to Niners and get mollywopped?
Nah. Boy,
I got huh? What in the words of old Clete is donkey stomp? Is that what he said?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Something like that.
I don't know. I will say my heart's with the Buccaneers, but I think the Eagles will win.
You're going with big game Baker, huh? I'm gonna go Philly. It breaks my heart to say it, but I'm going Philly. I picked Philly last year too in the Super Bowl, I think.
I picked Philly in the Super Bowl myself.
And they let me down.
Yeah, they let me down, little bitches.
It could have been worse. Anyway, Josh,
Sure.
you show up an hour, 20 minutes later, and you miss to the tail end. We're about to say goodbye and good night. So what's the story that you literally have always made it Wednesday night for you, and then it's time to make it Wednesday night. Then you show up. No, stop.
Make it
Time
Wednesday
out.
night
Hold
for
a
me.
minute. Yeah, BS. You said Wednesday for Clete. Come on, vouch for this one.
Yes.
You did say Wednesday night.
Yeah.
This was a huge fight in the D.B.A.B podcast.
Group chat. Anyway, we made it Wednesday night.
I guess early on because soccer, that was the best night to do it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
we made
originally
it
retract your
Wednesday night.
statement, pal.
So we made it.
Retract your statement like your hair.
Retract. Come on, Flannel
It's
Fred.
retracted.
Let's hear your story of why you're an hour late from the show, Mr. Flannel.
Yeah, well, I apologize for that. Obviously, y'all don't care about that part. But so another thing that's kind of also developed on Wednesday is that we have a little gathering, myself and the other couple of the coaches here, and we kind of have it like our meeting of the minds. But basically, at one point, it was trying to find the best Mexican restaurant in Weatherford, which was easier said than done. Eventually, kind of found someplace though. It was kind of like more during the season, and then of course we've had our ebb and flows of whether we've been able to get together on Wednesdays or not, and and have our
Whoa,
shows.
whoa. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
It's
I'm
always
getting
been
there.
Wednesday.
I understand that. I'm getting there, right? So, anyways, but usually most of the time we're done before. That's why when we go at 7:30, it kind of works out because usually we go after school and we're done with our stuff. But tonight we got a little bit late start. And we're at our favorite watering hole, if you will, just having a good time and just kind of like normal, thinking we're just going to be there for a little bit. And it turns out that they're in the transition of their license to sell adult beverages. So basically, what happened was basically they were giving out free drinks and stuff.
Well, all is forgiven.
All is forgiven.
All you had to do was say that first. You didn't have to lead the whole story. I don't care about the story.
It
was pretty cool, and it didn't really. Yeah,
you should have just never showed up.
You should have never showed up. You should have just texted us that, and we've been on.
You should have just texted us what you pick in each game.
But I understand that, but at the same time, like I told you I did say that we were going to meet, and then of course I'm sure y'all already talked about the major news that came through today in the college football world and all that fun stuff. And
Cletus, come
I,
on.
I, I know, I
Let
know,
it go,
I know,
Cletus. His face. Go get
I
him.
know y'all
Hey,
talked
look,
about it already. I
I'm
know
letting
y'all
you
talked
off.
about
Go
it.
get him. Go
I
get
know
him.
y'all talked about it already, right? I know. I'm not going to bring it back up. It's just going to be
Cletus, get
interesting
him.
to see
Get him.
where it goes.
I know you want to.
Come on, say it.
Josh,
Come on, come on.
you're an hour and 12 minutes late, sir.
I know.
The last time you was just this late, you got stood up on that date.
Damn.
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 Damn, how do you know
At
about
least,
that?
I don't know.
at
I'm
least
just,
at least I kind of showed up. You know what I mean? Like,
I am proud of you. I am proud of you, Josh. Me and you have held it down the last
Yeah, you have
4
I'm pretty
weeks.
close.
I know. And then I don't get like I'm not even. I'm not.
I haven't been here in like a month, so
I know
I'm not gonna go there.
it's been a while since I've talked to
You know,
Adam.
it's been a while for Adam
Maybe we
and
need
Josh.
to cut. Maybe we need to cut the first hour of me and Clete rambling on about Alabama,
No, that's
and
fine.
Vrabel, and
That's fine.
talk about Pete
Clemson,
Carroll. We talk
Atlanta.
about Clemson, Atlanta, LA,
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, and we
We'll
come
talk
on and
about
make our football picks. This
Yeah.
podcast is like
It's
scatterbrained.
probably been-
everywhere.
It's probably been
Everywhere.
fire. It's probably
And we
been
even
one of
talk
our
about
best ones.
Talk about TV shows. Cletus is obsessed with Reacher.
Oh, Reacher's a great show. We talked about that last week.
Yes.
Talked about that last week.
Okay, just for your information, I take notes, okay, of when I
Do you
listen
really?
to the podcast, when
I'm so
it's you
proud of
two
you.
holding down the fort, I take notes. And my first note is here, this is my criticism,
Hey, how bad? How
positive
bad?
reinforcement. First off,
Criticism?
positive,
Criticism?
positive criticism here. Listen, okay? First things first, Josh, you don't have to act like you're making out with the mic in the opening lines. Okay. Second thing, okay, great start to last week's episode. Okay. Clete, for the first 5
Yes.
minutes, this is your criticism. For the first 5 minutes, this is a great podcast. I'm in the vibe. I'm feeling the Zoom. I'm feeling it. I'm listening. And then I start hearing crackling chips or something.
Oh,
what are you
bro.
eating or doing?
Here's what
What
it
are
was.
you doing? I'm like,
Here's-
I literally tell Cobbs, it's
Here's
like,
what it
Cobbs,
was.
it's good. And then you get to that 6 or 7 minute mark. Clete's opening something.
Here's what it was.
Mute the mic.
Hey, easy there, ho. Let me explain what's going on here. Okay, my dumbass. And I'm gonna say this. My dumbass did not plug my damn mic in, so I was going off my freaking headset. I thought my mic was fucking plugged in the whole time, so I would mute my mic to do something, unmute it, cough, mute it, cough, all that stuff.
That's
The freaking
what it was.
the audio you hear was off my headset.
brother, we are
Just
what
one.
almost a year into this, and you
We're
don't.
almost a year.
That's a
I
rookie
just
mistake.
fucking
That's
like
hilarious, dude.
like
Because I literally
like,
said, what is
when
Clete
I
doing?
realized
It hasn't
it-
sounded this bad since Jack episode 1.
when I realized it, I was putting my stuff up and I look. I'm like, fuck, I didn't plug this son of a bitch in.
Well, it was
So
great.
that's what the because I kind of listened to a little bit, just kind of see kind of where we need to go and what I need to do, and
I criticize
yeah,
it.
that's pretty rough to listen to.
Yes, it's good. I was like, Josh is too close to the mic. That's a note. I'll tell him later. Good start, good flow. Them two holding it down real good. And
Yeah, I know, and that goes on for about 10 minutes.
yes. Oh, yes. And then I
About
skip,
10
skip,
to
skip, skip,
15
skip. And then I
minutes.
hear Josh, Mr. Soccer guy, something about goal scoring and all that. Blah, blah, blah. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Yeah, I miss the camaraderie with the kids and, but I don't really miss it that much. And then crinkle, 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 crinkle. Reacher, by the way. I love Reacher. Reacher's a great show. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Oh, I remember the good old days when we played Warzone. I would be a fan of going back to Warzone. That's a good time. I remember doing that. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Well, that's our show. I nailed the show in 5 seconds of what the show was last week. So, guys, You can get 2 episodes in 1 episode with your boy Jack here, without less crinkles.
Oh yeah.
I'm proud. Like I'm gonna give y'all a shout out, right? I know obviously Jack and Clete, y'all started it tonight. Adam hopped in, and then of course I just showing face my little cameo here. But I just want to shout out, let the people know that I'm super proud of Clete and Jack that they were able to come on here and get this thing going and not have to uh, depend upon me to get this thing rolling. I'm great that we can do that because it could be nice if we get to the point where we have a show and say something happens and it's Adam and Jack are the only ones that can go, or Adam and Clete, or Clete and Jack, or whatever the case may be, and we can all just hop in and do it instead of all depending on one person. Because as we found out tonight, you can't depend on Kurt.
Can't depend on Josh.
That's why you getting that. That's why Cletus. Oh, and a dog. I found out Clete had a dog. That's the only way I found out.
I don't have a
listen
dog.
to the podcast.
I don't have a dog.
He
Girlfriend has a dog.
You have a dog.
Y'all have a dog.
You have a dog, and the dog's name's Rain. And I still haven't seen a picture of this dog named Rain, so I'm very disappointed.
I don't have a picture of Rain. So.
Stop lying. You have a dog.
I don't.
You have a picture of this dog.
I don't have a picture.
Your girlfriend sends pictures of this dog. Says, "Look what little Rainy's doing today."
No, she does not.
Stop
it.
He's so cute sleeping.
Stop it. Stop it.
She does not.
You're not fooling anybody with this BS. All right, stop it. Get help,
bro. No.
I need a picture of Rain ASAP. So
tomorrow,
give me a picture of Rain.
I have 0 pictures.
Well, give me a picture of Rain. I need to see this German Shepherd and make sure it's not great value German Shepherd that we know who has one. And another thing, we also know
German Shepherd.
We also know. No, I doubt it. If you've seen Josh, that's great value. You over here don't have great value. Josh down here, we also know that we've heard a lovely story of Smokey the Cat and the many adventures of Scooby-Doo. We heard that last week too, with some crinkles in between. More of the story. Josh, get a dang baby gate for your stairs. Go to Amazon. I'm sure they're like $20 and it ships to your house. Get a damn baby gate.
I know. I need to pull.
Quit talking about it and be about it.
I know. Thank you. You are now motivated. You're motivated.
D.B.A.B. Hey,
a vacuum
D.B.A.B.,
cleaner
Josh.
and a vacuum cleaner and a shampooer in front of your door to keep your dog out the room so it doesn't poop on the floor. Yeah, just buy a baby gate. It'll save you hassle of a shampooer.
I agree. I know. I need to pull the trigger. Thanks for the motivation. I do have one question for like when y'all go back and listen to the show, because I think it was last week I said it. So like when I was talking to Clete, so you heard it, Jack, too. But like I don't necessarily go back and listen to our shows because for the biggest thing for me, it's just like photographs. I don't like hearing my own voice. Just like I don't like seeing myself in pictures. So I don't ever go back and listen to podcasts because I sound like, in my mind, from what I hear, I feel like I sound like I just don't like the sound of my voice.
You sound like Farmer Fran, baby, on Water Boy. I don't like it either. But, I just skip when it's my turn or when it's y'all's turn. But, the good thing is for me, for the last 2 episodes, y'all were holding it down. Positive. Great job, by the way, besides Crinkle Fries over here. But I don't have to listen to me because I'm not on it. You two are on it, so I can criticize you two.
We helped you. Yeah, we just
so it'd be nice, it also has help out to our listeners. They always bring up something that we said.
All 10 of y'all.
You listen and you give me criticism, and I hear the criticism, and I take it and I make fun of these two. But shout out to our listeners out there.
Yeah, shout out.
Hey, we can. We're gonna do the telling of the show. Grad for the promo, or actually, I gotta say something to you, Atlanta. Atlanta. We're gonna change. Adam made fun of me in Atlanta. Okay. Josh will get a kick out of this because you were here the story. I got to repeat the story. Sorry, podcasters. Atlanta. You know what movie was filmed in Atlanta a lot? Josh?
What movie?
What movie was filmed a lot in Atlanta? Or what movies?
The Avengers?
The Avengers. Yes, sir. Good answer.
Let's go.
The park where Hulk doesn't become Hulk and they meet Thanos' minions for the first time?
Yes.
That wasn't Central Park. That was in Atlanta. I walked that park and I geeked out. Adam made fun of me. And then the school behind it where the park was the school. You know what movie was filmed at that school?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. There you go. So I saw the school.
Oh, let's go. 2 for 2, baby. Let's go.
What a wiener.
What a dork.
Nerd alert. Anyway, who's the real nerd for standing on the park and saying this is historic? You know, who's the real nerd here?
I do have to be totally honest. I totally guessed on both of those.
You totally guessed?
Yeah.
That was a great guess.
Yeah.
Well, I figured like at first when you said Atlanta and you said movies, so I was like, all right, it's more than one. Then I was thinking about the city itself, and I was just like, okay. And of course, knowing our background with like Marvel stuff.
There's 10 of them, so you got it right. Yeah. What else? What else do we got? Buy a baby gate for your dog. What else we got here?
I know.
What did I send you, Curtin? Replacement for Bama. Go. Who do you got? We already know Adams. Go. We'll let you tag in.
What did Adam? Okay, first off.
Nope. Just go.
Listen to the show.
I will. I'll go back and listen. It's tough. I've been thinking about it. For me at first, for the longest time, I always kind of thought like Dabo was the guy, the next in line type dude, based on his history with the program, the success he's had. It would kind of be a natural step up for him from Cleveland to Bama. His buyout's not that much. I'm sure he would be interested if they came calling, especially to get out of the ACC and go to the SEC. I would probably put my money on Dabo, but my dark horse, for some reason, I had this feeling in my gut, is that they're going to make a run at Kirby Smart.
That was me. Me and Clete already had a conversation about that, and we leave. He has green grass. Why would you leave green grass to have? You have to grass. You have to water. Anyway, but yes, I get you.
But I think, he might have to do a little bit of watering in Bama, but he would be able to take what he's done at Georgia, take it to Bama where it's already been established, where he had to kind of build it up, and kind of like Georgia's always been like a solid program, but he's had to take it and build it. He's had to go and add stuff to make it even more. And he took everything that he's learned being under Saban and what they've done and at LSU and Bama, and took it to Georgia. Don't dumb me down. That's not a bad take. That's not a bad take.
Okay, if you take you're at Georgia, right?
You're going from SEC to SEC powerhouse.
You're going to Georgia. Move. You are next year's number 1 team in the country, and the team that you had to compete with every year, they just lost their head coach.
Clown move.
Yeah.
Your name may as well be Bozo, Josh.
That's fine. I'll be a bozo. That's for my take. I think it's somebody like.
Then he's gonna be the guy. I told you so. It's like the whole thing we talked about Dan Lannon and Lane Kiffin. Like they're building, like you're building it. Bama's built, but it could either go crash. Anyone but Dabo.
The Bama students were chanting they had the basketball game tonight.
But hey, man, it's good being in, man.
Anybody but Dabo. That's funny. Ugh.
Well, we shall see. I think it's going to be interesting, and hell, it might be somebody that none of us talk about.
We'll know by next week. It'll be all right.
So, but just let you know if
it is smart, I will come back and tell you. Told you so, motherfucker. So,
if it is, that's funny.
If it is, if not, then you're.
If it is, you're still bozo.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take it. That's fine.
Oh, and by the way, break wasn't good to me. I gained 10 pounds, maybe 15.
Don't worry, you'll lose that.
And it's I feel it, when the kids come back and go, hey, Garcia, you got fluffy. Doesn't make you feel good. Makes you. Oh, we can end the show with some Be the Light moments. I got two.
Okay.
Cletus, you got. I'll shout out our boy over here. We got a Be the Light moment for over here. Other duties as assigned. Mr. Fry
let's
Cook,
go. Let's
Burger
go.
Maker, Burger
Mr. Chef in the
Grabber,
kitchen.
Mr.
Chef in the
Chefing it
kitchen.
up for a basketball game. That's it, baby. That's Be the Light. You were being a light for the Booster Club, making money, doing it what was needed above and beyond. That's being a great human. Be the light, baby.
Yeah.
Good job, Cletus. Keep it
Let's
up.
go.
That's better than all of us in the room.
Amen.
Curtin, you got a Be the Light moment? The only light that's coming off your head, though.
No, not that light. Very small one. Very, very small Be the Light moment, if you will, or just kind of more of an act of kindness. Our trip to Vegas, had a great time. Lost more money than I won, but overall great time. Can't wait to go back. Anyways, we went we were down the old strip. Okay. We stopped at this pizza place. It's called like Pizza Rocks, I think, or something like that. Took forever for the pizza to come out, but it was really, really good. But we had some stuff. We had some pizza left over, and of course, we took it to go and whatever. So I'm carrying it around, and I just see this guy, and our intention was that we were going to give it to somebody that was less fortunate that needed it that night on the old strip, and the old strip was pretty crazy. I'll tell you that. Walking down Fremont, whatever it's called, and stuff.
Yeah,
Fremont
Fremont.
Street.
Yeah.
Did
And,
you zip line, Curtin?
No, I did not. I saw people zip line though. Now, when I say crazy, it wasn't like over the top, like just stupid shit going on the street. Now, of course, you had your ladies barely dressed in anything, like trying to get
Hell
pictures,
yes.
and you had your people beating on plastic drums and all that kind of stuff, or making artwork and that kind of
Did
thing.
you see the cards?
Yes. The craziest thing for me was the overhead thing that they have that kind of like acts as a cover down the street, and it has like the screen on top, so it's got stuff going on. It just felt like a freaking like nightclub all the way down the whole street. That's kind of like the vibes I got. Just craziness going on, music's playing, people fucking hammered, drunk, and dancing in the street and doing all this type of stuff and having a good time and stuff. Eventually, come across this older man. He's in a wheelchair. He has no legs. And it was kind of like one of those situations where like
Ain't
we
got
happen to
no
like
legs.
we
But you
happen
ain't
to
got no
turn.
legs, Lieutenant Dan.
We happen to turn. We made eye contact. It was kind of like that awkward, like, oh shit, made eye contact. I went back, and then I was thinking. Then I went back and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about the pizza. Like, we gotta, this might be a good thing. Turn back and look at him and kind of have the pizza in my hand. He looks at me, he looks down at the pizza, and he starts like looking back and forth, like, please, please, please. And then I just walk over there and I say, here, sir, we have some leftover pizza for you. And
You
He
made it
stabbed you.
awkward.
He stabbed you.
no, he didn't stab me. He was really
How
grateful, and
He took your legs.
That's why you haven't. That's what we've seen.
That's what took you
I
so
bet-
long to get up the stairs.
but
you made
I know it's
giving
not
free
not necessarily.
food. You
it's
made
not
giving away
necessarily.
food awkward.
Well, it was just one
Yeah,
of those
you
things
did.
because like it was.
Just give the
me.
man the food.
You know me. I'm a fucking awkward person anyway, so
Yes,
I'll admit that shit anyway.
I
So
can vouch. You were very
I'm an
awkward when
awkward
I
motherfucker
introduced you to
anyway,
people.
This
so-
man had to look at the pizza, look at you, look back at the pizza, look at you.
And
And by this point,
"Come
he's
on."
like, you know
And
what,
he-
man?
he's
Just keep
thinking
the pizza,
himself-
dog. Just keep the
He's thinking to
pizza.
himself, is this dude gonna give me that pizza or what?
Yes,
If I gotta roll over there and run over this clown's toe, I'll get it.
Mr. Bozo over here.
This pizza gonna
Okay,
be mine.
all right. Proud of you, Josh, for being a Be the Light moment and letting this man have pizza.
man.
But
Trying to help out, man.
more of the story. Don't make him as awkward next time, please. All right.
Well, it wasn't totally awkward.
He
As
looked
we've
at you,
been kind of
looked at the
talking about.
pizza, looked at you, looked
Well,
at the
it was-
pizza, and
okay,
said,
it was-
"Please, man."
Listen, it was
the
it
first
was
thing
more
I
of
would
those
have
things.
said.
Like, okay, so like it was more of those things that
Oh.
we're walking this way, right, and he's over here looking this way. So it's like one of those things where I'm looking here, see him, make eye contact, and I was like, oh, okay, like, oh, whatever, and I'm looking down, I'm like, oh, the pizza. So then I turn to him, and then we make eye contact again, and then that's when he starts to, like the looking up and down at the pizza, and then I start walking towards him, and I said, hey, we have some pizza left over. If you want it, you can have it. And of course, he was very thankful and all that kind of stuff, and I felt very good, and then proceeded to go lose $200 at the blackjack table. So it felt really good. It was great.
Thank you, Vegas, for making me feel good for a good 5 minutes and then take my money.
Then kick him in the
F you,
nuts.
Vegas.
Oh
F
man,
you,
there was one time we were at a table and the lady that was doing this, nice little Asian lady, which I felt like every time we were at a table
Asian lady, right?
was an Asian
Or
lady,
Asian
right?
person.
Yeah, and they can fucking count out. They're like naturally born calculators. It's crazy. I can't.
Why are you
count for
saying
shit.
that?
That's racist.
Because
Dude.
their math
Continue.
is good. The dealer's math was good. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, her name was Moo Moo, and we started off really good at the table.
Were you
Moo Moo.
flirting with her? You were flirting
No,
with
she's
Moo
older.
Moo, weren't
She's
you?
older. I'm
You were
like, come on,
flirting.
Moo
You
Moo.
like
We're having
older women.
We were
Stop.
having a good time with Moo Moo, and then guess what? Moo Moo started going
You
on
lost.
a streak, and Moo Moo started to fuck me over. And Moo
That's
Moo
when you
was no,
get. That's when you
Moo
get
Moo
up
was-
and walk away.
Moo Moo was no longer on my nice list. It was a great time.
That's
She
when
was.
you get up.
She
and
wasn't
walk.
Moo Moo no more.
No,
She was no.
she was more like Boo Boo. So it was
Y'all go to
great.
Margaritaville?
No, we walked past. It was so like one of the things we did, like especially when we first got there, is we went through and walked. I was more in like, of course, I wanted to gamble and stuff like that, but it took me a little bit. It took me a little while to get into the rhythm of wanting to do it. I was honest. I was kind of nervous, honestly, kind of like the whole process of jumping on the table and all that kind of stuff. And most of the time, we played like $10 or $15 minimum bet tables and stuff. But we did walk around. Like we stayed at the Flamingo. We walked across the street to Cesar's Palace, which is massive. Like the whole area, the buildings, everything there was massive on the new strip.
Mhm.
Massive, massive. I didn't realize how big everything was. Right.
Cesar's Palace?
Let it go. Stop. I knew that was coming.
Cesar's Palace.
What, Caesar?
Caesar.
Caesar.
Cesar.
Caesar's Palace.
Cesar.
Caesar.
Let it go. That's
Caesar's
why I went
Palace.
like this,
Freaking
Clete. That's why I went like
You don't want a Cesar salad.
I looked at this man's face and I knew it was coming. He was like,
But okay.
Cesar.
Okay, Clete.
I coached
I
coached a kid named Cesar. I coached a kid named Cesar last year.
We did too. We coached a kid named Cesar too.
All
But
right,
this
fine.
guy.
Caesar's Palace.
Anyway, I
Okay.
literally said this. I told you to get Josh's butt earlier, and you go hour 12 minutes later, and then the moment I tell you not to do it, you can finish your story. Go, Cesar's Palace. Go.
Anyway, Caesar's Palace, which we walked
Thank
over
you.
there and saw, walked into it. It's immaculate. It's beautiful on the
Mhm.
inside, sculptures, all that kind of stuff.
Joe,
then we walked
Joe,
through.
go to Bellagio.
Yes, we did walk through the Bellagio, which was nice too.
Did you go to the Venetian?
No, we did not go to the Venetian. We did walk
Venetian's
through
beautiful.
Paris. Paris was one
What
of
about the Venetian?
Paris for me was one of the most coolest inside of the buildings because like when you're walking up to it, obviously there's the Eiffel Tower and all this stuff, and then you walk in and then like it's the Eiffel Tower base is a part of like inside the casino, if that makes sense. And it have like and then the whole roof is like painted and it looks like you're like the skyline, all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty cool there. We went into Planet Hollywood, which probably had the hottest dealers there, and Planet Hollywood had a pretty cool theme. We were there for a little bit, and then we bounced over to New York, which had, of course, a New York theme on the inside. So that was
Did you go on the roller coaster at New York,
No.
New York?
No.
You pussy.
I didn't even know there was a roller coaster there.
Yeah.
Didn't know
Or
that.
at least there was.
Yeah, I didn't go on that roller coaster either.
Yeah. So
There
and then
was
of
a
course,
roller coaster
so we
at
did
one
all
time.
that stuff. I'm trying to think. What else we did. That was basically it. And then we went to the Mob Museum, which is on the old script. That was pretty cool. Like a bunch of mafia history and stuff. That was pretty dope. And then of course we were at what's that called? Old Strip. There's another one down there. It's like El something. El Grito. Not El Grito.
El Dorado or El Durango or
Yeah, something like that. That's where we started, and that was the table where I think that was Moo Moo's table, where she was nice and then not nice, whatnot. So it was a great time. I really had a great time, and I will definitely go back. It's like I think I texted Jack or whatever, and I was like, we need to come back with a group. You know what I mean, like to have fun. And then Jack was like, all right, whoever's getting married next, we're coming here. And I was like,
Vegas is incredible.
that was fun. I had a blast.
So there's one guy on the list right now.
who?
No pressure.
No pressure.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Let's go, baby.
Vegas.
But I'm thinking more like for Clete, he's more like a Nashville type of fella. But Vegas could work too.
Vegas, I do like Vegas. Vegas is a good time.
There we go.
Again, especially when you go with like a group,
yeah,
y'all can
that's
just
what
kind
I'm
of
thinking.
hang out. Y'all can just hang out and like
Get in trouble.
or just hang out and people watch and gamble a little bit. And
Nah,
drink
no
a little
people
bit,
watching.
and
I am the people.
I'm the people.
I'm not a
I'm telling
gambler.
the
So.
best.
Nah,
the
that changes.
the best sign I've seen in Vegas. I'm walking down the strip, and he said, and just a guy, panhandling. He goes, "Hungry, but I'm too ugly to prostitute."
Yeah.
And the best one is, I won't lie, I just want a beer.
I've seen a couple that said green for green because it's legal in Vegas. So he was like green for green. He's like, not gonna lie, I want marijuana.
There's not a gambler, but I will sports bet probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that one's fun. We went to the
And there's a
speaking of
million shows that go on there.
that, yeah.
That's what-
Next time I want to do the shows, like some of them, like I think the magician show would be really cool to go see.
Which one?
I don't know, Chris Angel, I guess maybe. Whatever. So that, and then Jack, there's like the biggest like sports book place, whatever,
Yeah.
with all the screens and TVs there. It's called like Circa or something like that.
Yeah, Circa. I watched the Super Bowl there last year.
Yeah, we went and stopped in there, and dude,
Where's it at?
It's Old Strip, I think. It is massive. Like that room and stuff, it's massive. I would sports bet too. There one time, so.
Imagine this year, buddy.
Yeah, I can
That's
imagine.
what Super Bowl is this year.
Yep.
I bet that place is the madhouse for the Super Bowl and for March Madness.
Oh yeah.
That'd
be a good time to go.
I was leaving on Super Bowl Sunday, and dude, you talk about packed. We're at the MGM, and it was freaking packed.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
It was the Ravens Niners Super Bowl.
That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one.
That's the one the lights turn off.
Yep. And Mercedes-Benz haven't hosted it since. All right, Adam, you got to be light.
No, I've been at the house.
That's light.
Being light is I convinced an old coworker of mine to run a half marathon because he told me he is not capable of. So I told him he was capable of. He just has to want to.
There you go.
Yeah, that's some light skin action. What else? Oh, mine. You know, the football players that I had last year graduated, went off to go play college football and go to college. They came back and saw us before Christmas break. So I saw them. They came and lifted in our weight room, and we came and talked. They came and hung out and talked to us for a little bit, and took a picture. That was my light, you know. Even though the people think as a coach, you get the 4 years with them, or 6 if you're started junior high up. You get the 6 years with them, 4 years with them, and then you forget about them, or they forget about you. It's kind of a light moment that they came back and wanted to see us and hang out with us. And some of the stories they told you, it's like, oh, we weren't sitting there just saying stuff to say stuff. We know a little bit about the game, and they said they took for granted how we coached them compared to how the other level coaches them. Because we coach them, we don't coach it personal. I'm not saying college do, but we get to know the kid for the kid first before we try to build the kid. Right? Well, college is a business, so they just try to coach the kid to get the most out of the kid.
Right.
Us, we have to build the kid up to get the most out of the kid. Because if they can't get the most out of the kid when they get them, they can go find the next one. We don't get that we don't get that opportunity in high school. We have to coach the kid we got, and we have to make him to the best potential. So that was my light moment. That. was them coming back and talking to us and interacting with us in a different way than player and
that's
coach. You know,
absolutely.
that's always fun.
Yeah, that's special. Like, especially Jack, you've been in Terrell for this is
For
your fourth year now. So for those kids that you coached last year, so I'm sure like we can say their names because they've already graduated. But like I'm sure you're talking about kids like was it Womp and those kind of kids,
Hersey
those
and
cats.
Kylan, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
So
those guys if you'll watch. Brisket,
but
in other words.
you were with those stud muffins for 3 years. You poured your heart and soul into them.
Yeah,
They were at your house. You fed them. You guys interacted all the time. So like y'all
yeah,
built those bonds. And then what's cool is like what you kind of mentioned about how they come back from college and it's just you're one of the people that or that they want to see and hang out and catch up
yeah,
with. And then like it's funny like you say like hey like we've been there done that dog. What I mean like we're just
yeah,
trying to set you up and help you up and
yeah,
when they
exactly.
come back and be like, "Hey, you're right. I appreciate all that." Like those are special moments. I'm sure you, felt a certain way
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
about it. So it just kind of
Definitely
shows
would.
you the great coach that you are. So
Oh,
shout out to
yeah,
that.
I'm all right. I'm just another slappy that gets the
Shut
opportunity to blow. I get to just blow the whistle and yell at some kids sometimes. It's
You do more than that. You, Clete, y'all do a great
it's
job.
it's
Adam
the
does a
people.
great job in his logistics world. So
It's the people that I hang out with that make me a better man. But that's one light moment, and the other light moment would be um, my parents and my slappy brother over here. Um, Hank going to watch me walk the stage at Clemson.
mm,
You know,
great moment.
we're other way. You know, this life, crazy world, this life we live. We're all going different paths, and it was. I made it. You mean I'm not really the selfish person at a lot of
Mhm.
times, but I made this very selfish uh, because at times it went backtrack and not be on the main objective, which was for me to walk the stage. You know, but them being there for me at that moment, I can always count on Hannah. Um, but my parents and my brother flying in to be there for me that day was special. We'll never forget it. And I know, you guys know I was very close to my grandmother. I felt her there too. And, that's why I always tap my chest and point to the skies because for all the people that have helped me get there that aren't always with us. And my grandmother is a big inspiration, and I felt her there when my mom, dad, and brother and Hannah were there. So every life event that I've had, my support group has been there, and it meant besides like when I met Hannah, Hannah met my grandmother. My grandmother knew Hannah last time. My to get a little soft here. But my grandmother was going through real bad stages of dementia where she barely remembered her own daughters, my mom and our Aunt Shirley. She barely remembered them at times, but she came in as I guess a week or two, maybe even a month before she went and saw the Lord. She remembered me and Hannah, and she had a full-on conversation with me and Hannah, and she knew us by name and remembered us, remembered what we did before, remembered our trip we were just on. And she, a week or a day or two later, a day before this, my mom said she barely knew who she was. And that was, a light moment that said, and she met Hannah. She loved Hannah just as much as I did. I'm sure my grandmother, my mom, my dad, and brother love Hannah more than they love me. He can vouch for that. He knows that. And see, uh, but she was at that. She was at our wedding. She was at uh, she watched my tech graduation. She was at our wedding, and then she was at their spirit for my Clemson graduation. And it was that was my light moment. Is my family with all life's different directions that brought us into this one little slot because we don't know how many of those days we have left because time waits for no man. So, boys, take advantage of them.
Yeah. I know I was late and haven't spoke much, but Jack, first off, congratulations with all that. I know I've said it to you several times, but obviously with what you have to kind of overcome with with stuff like that, and for doing it for 2 years and having to juggle that with everything else that comes in life. Congratulations, that's a big achievement. I'm
Appreciate it.
pretty sure it was truly special to be able to have the opportunity to go over there to meet fellow classmates, to meet your instructors. I'm sure
I got in
Jana's a
trouble
great.
for meeting classmates. Adam can vouch for that one.
Uh-oh. Like Jana's a
Right,
great
Adam?
person. Mike's a great person over there at
Oh,
Clemson.
yeah.
Shout out to
Great people.
Clemson, their
Yes.
athletic leadership program. But what makes it more special too is like I was fortunate to have my sister and brother there. We all flew in and were able to have those moments together and spend that time and all that. So it means a lot. Shout out to Adam for making that sacrifice to fly out there to be with you for that moment. So it's great, and of course, school's nice, nice campus, nice.
Adam's a Clemson fan now. Aren't
So,
you, Adam?
anyways, let me hear about this. You getting in trouble with your classmates? Little story, real quick.
Let Adam tell it.
Oh, so he didn't know this girl's name that was sitting beside him, and we were just sitting there. And every time I look up, they were singing the fight song, whatever it was. Jack had no idea what it was, and so I just happened to be like
Dang.
videoing him to show him like how ignorant he looked because he has no idea what's going on. And then I look over and I didn't even notice that the girl beside him, and he's just like, I mean, in my opinion, there was nothing. But she just happened to be laughing. He was laughing. So like from first glance, it looks like they're like chatting it up, laughing during the whole thing. So like I'm showing Jack the video for the first time, and Hannah makes a comment on it, and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. And then Jack starts, and then like not even like registering it. A few minutes had passed. Nobody's thinking anything of it. Jack starts talking. Oh yeah, well she's from Philadelphia. She's saying that Clemson is the best, like out of state tuition and all this. And so obviously, women don't forget. So she turns and she's like, "Oh yeah, you sure do know a lot about her." She's like, "Do you even know you graduate? Do you even know she graduated today?" And so it was. I didn't realize. I was just making the video to show him look like he was ignorant in his own school. He just paid to get a master's degree from. Don't even know the fight song, and he's
you know the fight song,
there.
Josh?
Nope.
The funny thing is, we were both sitting there singing it, and we're like, "This is the perks of being online school. You don't know the fight song." I can tell you the Texas Tech fight song, baby.
I mean, a couple of people over, the guy left. So, yep. I mean, that could have been worse.
Yeah, but Hannah's busting my chops. Yeah.
Always. Shout out to Hannah. She's the real MVP.
She brought me back down to earth and said, "Why are you napping?" Like was making conversation. You just want me to sit there like this? I can't just sit there.
Yes, she does. She just wants you to sit there, get your diploma, and go home.
But you know me.
Don't talk to nobody.
You know I can't just sit there. Like the guy next to me, he was a tight end for Clemson, and he's about to transfer back to Joshua's old home state of Florida. But I can't just sit there. You guys know me enough. I'm not going to just sit there. So I made small conversation.
I know, but your wife wants you to sit there, get your diploma, and go home.
You read the diploma 15 times while you wait for everybody.
Well, you don't get no diploma. You're just sitting there looking at the
Don't
paper.
even look up.
You get
let me see if I haven't got that yet, but I got a paper that has where everybody was from. There's a shout out to Hutto. You know, Hutto was out there. Only one of Shallow Water America. Shout out Mustangs out there.
Let's go. Where's it at? Oh, it's right here.
Oh, yeah.
When you walk across,
the $2 bill's cool, by the way. The $2 bill is very cool. I didn't get that. Mine was a purple. No, mine was a purple, like an old diploma thing. The $2 bill thing's cool.
This is also Texas Tech. That's what I got to take.
That's what I got to take. I got one of those at Tech, and I got the purple one at Clemson.
Was it empty? It's empty, right?
Yes, and they send you the diploma.
Yeah, it's the one up there.
Look at him. It's that one. Look at
Right here.
me.
Right here. And if you look over right here, that's the
Oh, okay.
Red Raider one.
Oh, well, I thought you were pointing at the Rams champion one.
If you look at this here,
He's the Masters champion in 2007.
it's a
boys.
2007 Masters Championship flag that
Let's go.
yeah, after I beat Zach Johnson, 1-on-1.
Clay, what do you got back there? What you got?
A painting.
Clete's ready to go home. He was 2 up.
Yeah,
he was.
I got up.
He was up way too late last night, flipping patties, frying them fries.
Got up early.
Making mozzarella sticks. He's
What
back
time were
to
you
the
up this
grind,
morning?
baby.
4:15.
He's back at the grind, lifting, trying to look like the Hulk again.
Let's go.
He's back at it. I want to be more like him. Wake up at 4:15 and go work out at 5. That's not my cup of tea. I'm not a morning person by any means.
I'll be waking up at 5 o'clock to drive a bus,
bro. Like at 2 o'clock, I start going like yawning, so I just start drinking water.
That helped.
Yeah, so
5 o'clock
It is
to
what
drive
it
a
is.
bus. Hey man, you just keep every time I see you, Josh, you keep adding more crap that has no business in your shelf.
What we got now? Like
I don't know.
I will be. The last 3 things I've added, Jack, have all been from this franchise right here. You want to guess what franchise?
No one cares.
The Yankees.
No, movies.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was a Yankee.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park,
Oh,
yeah.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Look at this shows.
Hey, by the way, the Funko Pop store in LA is legit. It is a sweet store.
Oh, I bet it
Dun,
is.
dun, 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 dun.
What else? You got a little
Last time I
lunch
went to
pedal.
Lubbock, I got this one here. This was at Cracker Barrel, right? It's a little Jurassic Park tumbler.
Dude.
This is not show and tell. Y'all could show and tell
I
on
have to show you.
FaceTime.
Oh, bro.
Bro, this is show and tell. We talk one time a week, but it's been 3 weeks or 4 weeks since we've talked. All of us.
I know, Adam. It's been longer for you, man. You got a whole lot of catch up. You need to be on the show for 6 hours to catch up. Let's go.
What? All right, what in the show? So great, guys.
Boomhauer, what the hell did you just say?
Well, I will say.
What
Don't
the hell
start
did
with
you
me,
just say,
Frodo.
Boomhauer?
Don't start with me, Crackle Face. Don't start with me. All right. I'm not Pixels anymore. We got Mr. Noise Cancel Darth Vader over here. Anyway, thank you for being part of the show. Listen, watching, whatever you do. You can catch us. You can catch our podcast anywhere you find podcasts. D.B.A.B podcast. Thanks for joining in. Me and Clete started the show. We had cameos from my brother Adam and Josh. By the way, he left a better party to join this party. So we appreciate him for that. Don't forget, check in next Wednesday unless Josh forgets. Next Wednesday for our podcast next week. And don't forget to be
You sure?
And one last thing. Go Cowboys.